WWE is a scripted show, but does not mean that it stops the wrestlers from doing what they feel like doing now and then to really make the show pop. Some of these crazy moments in company history were actually unscripted. Number 10, Brock Lesnar's beatdown gets Randy Orton concussed. In the main event of SummerSlam 2016, Brock Lesnar pounded Randy Orton's head, drilling him with elbows and bloodying him in the process. While certain aspects of this entire thing were staged, the elbows and Lesnar's authority to use them felt way too real on Randy Orton's skull. WWE is currently having a no-blood policy, meaning that blood around this time must have been accidental, quote-unquote. They prohibit the use of it around this period, and it would indicate that maybe someone was stepping out of line. There's been debate about how scripted this entire scene was supposed to be. Number 9, Vince McMahon tearing his quads. Yeah, that happened. With John Cena and Batista, both of them going over the top rope and hitting the floor simultaneously. Referees debated who would be the winner. This prompted then WWE Chairman Vince McMahon to rush down from his backstage position, throw his hair, Batista would be the winner. Yeah, it kind of overshadowed the entire thing, but yeah, certainly weird. And both your quads. Ow, yeah. Number 8, Titus World Slide. WWE hosted the Greatest Royal Rumble at Jeddah, Saudi Arabia in 2018. While the match was won by Braun Strowman, Titus O'Neil became the talk of the town and social media for the weeks that followed, albeit maybe not in the way he intended to. That's because while Titus was making his way to the ring for the match, he tripped over and slid under the apron. O'Neil's hilarious botch was pointed out by WWE announcer Michael Cole right then and there, and it became widely a replayed moment in WWE history. The incident came to be referred to as Titus World Slide, a play on his catchphrase, Titus Worldwide. Fortunately, Titus took the entire botch in stride and was awarded WWE's year-end award for the funniest moment of the year. Number 7, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn refused to sell to the New Day? Do you know that Sami Zayn and KO were once kicked out of a European tour? That happened because Owens and Zayn decided to go off script on a specific portion of the show and walked out as the New Day watched in confusion. WWE management reportedly were furious with their actions. Number 6, Randy Orton loses his cool on Kofi Kingston. Randy Orton has mellowed down his temper in recent years. On Monday Night Raw in late 2009, Kofi was primed as one of the hottest young single babyface heroes of WWE, ready to break through, but his push came to an abrupt end after this match. Kofi reportedly missed something involving the finish, and Kofi took an RKO on the first attempt, which led to a furious Orton yelling, "Stupid!" It fit Orton's gimmick just fine. Orton reportedly told some people in the higher end of WWE that maybe Kofi just wasn't ready for the main event. Number 5, the curtain call. Had it not been for a fan sneaking a camcorder into a live WWE event at the world's most famous arena on one fateful night in May of 1996, the business, as we know it, of professional wrestling would be drastically different. At Madison Square Garden, WWE was gearing up for the King of the Ring. The company was ready to give that crown to Triple H, a young up-and-coming villain within the ranks. At the same time, they were saying farewell to Diesel, Kevin Nash, and Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, who were leaving for lucrative deals with the then well-financed rival company WCW. Triple H and Shawn Michaels met in the ring with Razor Ramon and Diesel. The four friends in real life shared a heartwarming embrace despite them on different sides of the heel and babyface dynamic of WWE. However, fans were shocked. Yeah, this was a completely unscripted moment. And since the curtain call was caught on videotape, plenty of agents and people in the dirt sheet world of wrestling were going to become aware of this. And since Shawn was the then WWE champion, Diesel and Ramon were gone, Hunter is the one who was reportedly punished, which meant Stone Cold Steve Austin was booked to win the tournament instead, where Stone Cold cut the infamous Austin 316 promo. Yeah, things would be really different then, huh? That didn't happen? Number 4, Daniel Puder's Kimura lock on Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is considered to be one of the best athletes of all time to leap into professional wrestling, an Olympic gold medalist for the United States in 1996 in legitimate wrestling, not just sports entertainment. So Puder was likely to be teaching a lesson to Kurt Angle? Yeah, when the opportunity arrived, he turned it into a shoot a little bit. The match between Angle and Puder would take place in 2004 on an episode of SmackDown. Number 3, Brock Lesnar knocking himself out. Brock Lesnar faced an injured Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 19's big main event in Seattle, Washington for the WWE Championship, a stellar match. Lesnar won the match and walked out of the stadium as the new champion. However, he would not do it at 100%. Yeah, an incident that fans will remember for a long time saw Lesnar knocking himself out. Before the match, Lesnar agreed to pull off a very risky shooting star press off the top turnbuckle, something he had done in his pre-WWE main roster years, and it was a highly aggressively impressive maneuver. Lesnar regularly did the move during his developmental days, but had not done it on the main roster, and it would certainly be a thrilling thing for him to pull out in this big, first time for him, WrestleMania main event. So when the moment came, the Beast Incarnate unfortunately landed on his head short of Angle, and in doing so, Lesnar suffered a serious concussion. Thankfully, Angle was able to guide him until the end of the match, and a big disaster was averted. Number 2, the Shockmaster. A pro wrestling debut is a very critical moment for a pro wrestler, especially on TV. You make that big impression, and sometimes they don't go as planned. Bret Ottman was signed to work with WCW and was supposed to be the mystery partner for Sting, Dusty Rhodes, and Davey Boy Smith. In a segment on Clash of Champions in August of 1993, the three were announced in front of their opponents, Sid Vicious, Big Van Vader, and Harlem Heat, that had a shocking mystery partner. Ottman certainly shocked the world when he tripped while crashing through a wall in a pyrotechnic in wrestling history, and it is incredibly hilarious. It also affected the character long term. Ottman would give it a go in WCW, but would eventually return to WWE. Number 1, the Montreal Screwjob. Perhaps the biggest betrayal in pro wrestling and WWE history is the infamous Montreal Screwjob, in which Vince McMahon and other WWE officials betrayed Bret Hart from the agreed-upon booking of the 1997 SummerSlam main event in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. The incident stemmed from the fact that Bret Hart was the reigning WWE champion and was leaving for WCW. At Survivor Series, Hart was stated to defend the title against his bitter rival, Shawn Michaels, and he refused to lose to Michaels in his home nation of Canada. But during the match, McMahon forced the referee, Earl Hebner, to ring the bell when Hart was trapped in Michaels' submission hold, the sharpshooter, even though it was Hart who did not submit. Apparently, Vince was afraid that Bret could leave the WWE with the physical championship title and bring it over to WCW. The fallout of the event created a huge media frenzy and would be talked about for years to come. Some believe that this was the beginning of the Mr. McMahon character.